Okay guys, I'm just going to show you how we put the video together. I'm using a program here called Final Cut Pro, which is a video editing program that's a bit like iMovie. There are also Windows equivalents and Android ones, and they all work in pretty much the same way. So down the bottom here on the left, you've got what's called a timeline, and it starts at the beginning over on the left, and whatever you add to this dark grey area will be your main video. So I'm just going to go ahead and select a clip. I've got clips up here, and these are all my clips, and you can see that they're all your videos. So I'm going to just go and select a wee bit of clip here that we did on the green screen. You can see my Starkey there. So I'm going to take a wee bit of Stephen, and you can run over it and hit play, and you can just select a wee bit of the video. So I'm going to just grab a wee bit of Stephen, and I'm just going to bring him down to this dark grey area. So we can see now that I've got a bit of Stephen in here, and he's green in the background. Now, there's two things I need to do. I need to detach the audio. So I need to take the audio from this and make it separate. So I'm going to just click detach audio. And now I've got that audio as a separate file which goes underneath. You can see that that's the music. Okay? The next thing I need to do is I need to get rid of the green screen. And we're using, to get rid of the green screen, you're doing something called chroma keying. So if anywhere on YouTube, anywhere on the internet, if you look up green screen or chroma key, C-H-R-O-M-A, chroma key, and that's just to do with getting rid of a specific colour. The reason we use green or blue screens is because it's easy to get rid of those colours. So I go over to the right hand side now, and I'm going to click on these little squares, which are for video effects. And you can see that there's one called keying, for chroma keying. So click on the keyer, and I drag it over on top of Stephen, and what happens is it gets rid of the green. Just like that, easy. Now there's settings over on the right here, where I can change, and to be honest, I don't really know what all of these mean. But you can kind of mess about with them a wee bit, and just adjust the levels. If you've got a wee bit of green coming through, you can adjust the levels there. But that was dead easy. I've got rid of the green screen. Now I want to choose a background. Now I found this background on YouTube. You can find lots of backgrounds on YouTube. So here I've got some lights. Let me just try and find the studio background. Here it is. So here's the studio background. I'm just going to drag that, and I'm going to put it on top. And you can see that it kind of joins itself to Stephen. Now that means that goes on top of there. And that's got rid of Stephen. So what I meant to do is put it underneath Stephen. Okay, so that Stephen goes on top of the background. So now you can see Stephen looks a wee bit funny there. It looks great, it looks fine, but what we want him to do is we want him to be on that TV screen. So if I go to the keying thing again, and I drag it over to the studio this time, the studio clip, you can see that it's made the green disappear from there. And what I want to do now with Stephen is click on him, and then I go up to the main window where you see the video. I click the drop down arrow there, and what I want to do is crop Stephen and just make him a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're just going to crop him, and then we're going to trim them. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all that stuff on the right, because we don't need that. We just need Stephen himself. I'm going to hit done there, and then I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click transform, and I'm going to make him a wee bit weird, and then I'm going to put him up onto the video, and then hit done. And you can see that that's how I managed to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of footage of one of the bands playing. So there's a band. I'm just going to grab that. Same thing. Back onto the timeline. Detach the audio. Audio file goes separate. We're going to grab some background now for that. That's my phone ringing. We're just going to ignore my phone ringing, right? So I'm going to grab some background here. There it is. Underneath. And that goes underneath there. I need to make it a wee bit bigger, just so that it uses up the whole size of the clip. Over here, drag the key in again to get rid of that, and you can see that that's how we did that. So we need to transform it again. I also need to move this playhead over to look at, see that line there? That's called the playhead. So wherever you have that is what you see on the screen. So I'll drag that over to my clip. I need to make them a lot smaller so that they look like they're on the stage. That's them. That's reasonable. Oh, made them go upside down. Put them there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, that looks a bit funny actually. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks like they're now on the stage and we've got some of the crowd. So if I just play that. Now obviously all the audio is out of time. So what you need to do, and this takes a wee bit of footering about, a wee bit of time, is you need to get the actual audio file. So you need to get the actual Shakira song. And I've got the actual Shakira song here. So I can just bring all of that over. I'll just bring all of the song, and if I just drag that down, I don't want to see any of her video. I'm just going to drag it down onto the underneath there. I'm going to detach the audio from that, and then I'm just going to delete that track. And now what we should find, if I just get rid of the audio from our videos, we should now find this song. There we go. I've got a wee bit of audio coming in there. I forgot about. Detach that. So there we go. Now we've got the actual Shakira song, and with us in the background. I'm just going to let it play till you see when it changes the clips, because this is quite important. Right, it looks a bit funny there, doesn't it? Just switching to the next clip. So what you want to do, if you're switching between clips at any time when you're editing a video, you want to use something called a transition. So again, if I go over to my effects over here, then the transition is this one here. And the most popular one is to use a cross dissolve. And you see this all the time on TV and in films. It just dissolves from one scene into the next. So I'll just show you what that looks like. See, it just kind of fades in. Looks a wee bit better. Sometimes you need to mess about with these. There's various ones you can use. I quite like this colour panel one, which I use. See that? I used that a few times. But there's loads of different effects over here. So you can decide which type of... So you can get it to flip and go into a mosaic. And these are all available in iMovie as well. So, and they're available on the iPad iMovie too. So if you want to put text over the top, you click the T for text. So that's how you do your titles. Lower thirds are these things, you know, like on the news and stuff where it says, you know, Pam Curry from Tablet Academy. And it says who's speaking. They just put titles in. So you can put wee titles in over there. When you put it all together, it looks a bit, obviously a lot more complicated than that, but really that's all there is to it. I found my backgrounds, so there's a few backgrounds I used. Used this one, which was like a New York street scene, and again it was the same process. I just had to put the main video in, key it to get rid of all the green, and then I added all your videos on top of it to get you playing there. So I'm going to just show you what the kind of final one looked like. So we're just going to go to your, here we go. So this is the one that I did, final one, and you can just see how it was all built up. At the beginning, I kept in some of your videos, some of your audio, sorry. But if we work through the timeline, you can see it just goes from beginning to end, and it's made up of all those little different bits. So at the beginning, and you can see with it down here at the bottom, that's when Shakira starts singing. Okay, that little audio file here is when Stephen starts speaking there. And if we go up the top, you can see that there is our text. Okay, so that's our growth mindset text that comes up there as a lower third. Moving along, here's the New York scene. So I'll show you how that's built up. So there's the New York skyline, where all the bits are green. But you can see, because I've got that clip there, shows up there, that's all the staff together and all the pupils together. This one here, where I've just chosen Darren, I've just taken Darren out of that band scene, and then we've got Stephen just appearing on the side panel here, and we've got, who's that from up there? Who was that? It's I can't actually see. Oh yeah, yeah, that's the school badge there. That's the school badge there, and then that one there is Wyatt. Right, sorry, yeah. So we've got Wyatt up the top there. You can see Wyatt, that's the one I couldn't see. And then we've got the school badge down the bottom. So they're all just appearing. You can see they're just stacked. And they're all showing, whatever you have on top shows first. Okay, so the last thing on the timeline here is the New York street scene, and then it switches to the crowd, and then you can see we've got a nice transition there that goes into panels. And if I jump right to the end of the video, if you jump right to the end, then you can see that I've added like closing credits. So just added the school badge and a tablet camera badge at the end. So that's how we did it. It's very easy to do that on iMovie as well. And as I said, if you go to Google and just search for chroma key, so if you just search for chroma key, then you'll see all sorts of stuff there about screening. So it's called chroma key. There's a Wikipedia entry that just tells you what the chroma key does. There's loads of stuff on YouTube about how they do it in movies. It's so cool. So if you go to videos, and then if I type in chroma key movies, then you'll see how they do it there. I showed you one a couple of weeks ago, but it's the same principle. You just green background, and these backgrounds are pretty cheap to buy as well, so you could get one fairly cheap if you've got your own YouTube channel. You get the backgrounds for like £6. It's important that you've got light shining on them, but once you've done all of that, it's pretty easy to do. You just need to build it up a step at a time, and you'll be able to work it out. The best way to learn any software is just to try it, play with it, realise that you can't go wrong, and you just keep trying. I mean, that's all I did. I just learned this. I didn't know how to use this, but I just started to do it. I figured it out. I've kind of taught you the main things. The timeline is here. All your clips that you can choose are up here, and what you see is in this window over in the middle here, and then you've got all your effects down here. Now iMovie is pretty much the same as that. I'm just going to open up iMovie just now. It might take a wee while because I've got quite a lot of programs on my computer and it's getting quite slow. But iMovie is pretty much the same. It looks a little bit different on the Mac to what it does I'm just going to come out of this final cut. So before we watch the finished video, I just thought it was important that you all saw how it was done. So there we go. There's my dog. It's my old dog actually. But these again, it's the same. There's the clips. This is the timeline, and that's your kind of your play window. Your effects are all up here. So you've got effects there, crops, transitions. So there's the transitions. Transitions, remember, are just how it moves from one scene to the other. You've got your audio there, titles there. The key principles are the same. Okay? Oh, and backgrounds. So that's what you would use for chroma keying on iMovie. But you can also find backgrounds on YouTube and stuff. That's what I did. And then just bring them in. So same principle, same approach. There's also Windows Media Player, which you can, Windows Movie Maker, sorry, which you can use. And there'll be programs for any device you've got that will work in a similar kind of way. But the important thing to remember is chroma keying if you're using a green screen, and just then build it all up on your timeline. Okay, we'll get ready for the big premiere now and watch the finished clip.